go back and see what other shenanigans we can get into if we make different choices. Alright, I guess let's watch all this happen. Oh no. Nope, I should not have I should not have said that. Oh no. No. Ooh. Oh no. No. I didn't think that they were gonna do like a close-up, like a POV type shit. God, no. Okay. No. No. You are a goddamn heartless bastard. Oh God. While I can appreciate very much that I am given the choice by the game developer, I am not given a choice by you. So I guess let's just go. You heartless bastard. You yell at the top of your lungs with what strength you had. The man laughs at your words as he approaches you once again. Come now, dear. I know you're no saint. I know you watched my performance I have done just for you, my doll. That's what I love about you, though. You're not like the others. Not like the other girls. I watch when my fiancé's penis gets chopped off. You're a sick freak. Not any more than you, dear. I know everything about you. It's what makes us compatible. I'd never like someone like you. You will. Fuck you. You sputter out, getting tired talking to him. Fuck me? The man then smirks. Must have really got the edge on you, Quite bold. Although I'd be lying if I said that didn't turn me on. The man says with bated breath. His eyes felt like they were undressing you. That is, until he finally turns around to his accomplices. Roll the rack this way and put Mr. Ledger on it. He orders. Afterwards, the accomplices leave and come back with the rack, positioning it in your direction, facing you. No, I take it back. I take it all back. I take it back. You don't have to do that. It's okay. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. My bad. Let's not. The accomplices then unlatches Alfred and throws him to the floor. Alfred! Alfred groans and weakly tries to crawl towards you. As he crawls your direction, he has the most lifeless eyes you've ever seen, but he still wants to save you. He is determined to. No matter what. As he tries crawling towards you, you saw the man turn around and kick Alfred in the face, knocking him on his back. Stop! Slithering your way back, truly that of a poisonous viper. He says as he looks down upon Alfred's weak form, who is now bleeding from his face and trying to get back up on his side. That is when the man places his foot on Alfred's chin, then tilting his foot up on Alfred's chin, making him look up at the man. You're persistent, I will give you that. After this, the twins grab a huge wad of Alfred's hair and drag him to the rack, proceeding to slam him against it, locking him in right after. You cry as you saw how weak and broken down Alfred looks. The man turns towards you and smirks. Let's give Mr. Ledger a performance. I wouldn't want our guest missing out. What are you going on about? You stutter, shuddering, unsure of what he exactly has planned. The man then takes off his apron, placing it to the side, then proceeds to unbutton his lab coat, undressing himself in front of you. Well, my mind recalls you saying, "Fuck you" to me. Afterwards, he unbuttons his... Yep. Then he starts, yeah, yep. Yeah, no, don't do that. You try to move, but your body is still weak. You couldn't do much. The man chuckles at your attempt as he slides off the last article of clothing off of you. He positions himself in front of the coffin and grabs each side, slowly laying his bare body onto yours. Holding his poor little head. His big, rough, veiny hand glides across your stomach. He drags his fingertips lightly on it, afterwards slowly looking up at you. This is what you wanted, though, my doll. You said it yourself. Yeah, of course. I brought it all on myself. It's all my fault. Not that. You squirm and try to lift your upper body out of the coffin quickly with the little strength you have. He notices you are squirming and grabs a wad of your hair, then slams your head and body back on the cushion. The man then moves his face to your side and gets right next to your ear. You feel his hot breath press against your skin. You're always full of surprises. You know that, Cece? Who the fuck are you? He purrs in your ear, biting the lower part playfully afterwards. Popped up like a little groundhog. Yeah, it happened just like you thought it would. He did it, and the character was like, "Oh my god, this is horrible. It's horrible." But then it ended up not being horrible, but now it's horrible again because they're like, "Oh my god, what?" Your eyes feel heavy and your legs weak. You felt like collapsing on the floor as soon as his body stops pressing against you. Okay. You've done so well for me. You'll be such a beautiful bride. Isn't he supposed to be all religious and righteous and stuff? Like, isn't doing that before marriage like a sin or something? You can't pick and choose the things that you want to believe are sins and the things you want to believe aren't sins. You gotta pick one, my guy, especially if you're murdering people over it. Come on. He then proceeds to put his top clothing back on and covers your body back up with a horrid dress you were covered in when you awoke here, while his accomplices place Alfred back to where he originally was. I can't wait for us to start our family. Oh, yay. The man smiles as he places another gentle kiss on your lips. His touch disgusts you, and you can't bear to look at Alfred as you feel disgusting. The man and his accomplice, as well as you, turn towards the noise. He then looks back at his accomplices and then towards the noise. I must leave for a moment, but I will be right back. Excuse me, the man says as himself and his accomplice leave the room. Alfred, you cry to him. Alfred tries to respond, but the leftover blood in his mouth pours out. You try to muster up some energy to move. You have to get up. So we're gonna do it. Get up. Get up. Get up. Finally mustering up enough strength in your weakened body, you throw yourself out of the coffin and fall hard to the floor. That didn't sound good. Alfred tries to speak, but it's inaudible. I'm okay, you tell Alfred as you use all of your strength to move, hoping the drug will wear off the more you walk. Slowly crawling your way up to Alfred, you then unlatch the iron that holds his limbs down. After you remove Alfred's restraints, he slowly tries getting up, but is in excruciating pain. Okay, yeah, so then we get his clothes, and then we run. Oh no! Get the fuck back on the table, they said. Oh, fuck. Okay. Not the same directions then. Right? Okay. Left. Not left. Right. Okay. Straight. Sprinting and panting down the hallway with Alfred following right behind you, you see a huge room ahead. Okay, let's see if we go into the body chute. Yep. You fall to the concrete hard as someone punches you in the gut from the corner of the doorway. Your vision feels like haze as it keeps going in and out of focus. You're unable to gain full consciousness or even stand. All you see is Alfred trying to hold off this man before the man grabs his head and repeatedly smashes it against the window, knocking Alfred out. Alfred falls to the ground unconscious as the man turns towards you and does the motion of wiping off his hands. "You're trying to leave me?" The man questions you before turning around and appears as if he's tried to regain his composure. After a few moments, he turns your direction again and then grabs your ankle, dragging you into the hallway. You try to struggle with what energy you have after the impact, but his grip on your ankle gets harder the more you do, making you wince in pain. He then nears a medical bed, still dragging you. The man lets go of your ankle to pick you up bridal style and place you on the medical bed afterwards. No matter how much you struggle, his strength easily overpowers you. He then ties each of your limbs down in place with belt straps attached to the bed. "Let me go!" The man walks behind the head of the bed and starts pushing you on it down the hallway. "I apologize for being vulgar. I just couldn't wait before our matrimony." "That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, it kind of sounds like you deserve to be put down on a table. Have your ding-dong sliced off." "I promise I'll be a different man after our ceremony." "What the hell are you talking about?" You manage to spit out at him as your vision keeps fading in and out. "Our matrimony." He smiles at you as he proceeds to roll you down the hallway. As he rolls you down the hallway, you look around to see organs, arms, limbs, and every body part stored perfectly in jars, even torsos hanging from hooks. Looking in one of the rooms in the distance before he turns the corner, you see a man flailing and screaming, tied down in a medical bed just like you, except his genitals are cut off, his chest and stomach restitched up, an arm missing, and his tongue removed as his screams are inaudible. The man notices you eyeing the other in the distance. He is always a noisy one. Some dogs just don't know when to quit. "Where are we going?" You question shakily, unable to look at his piercing gaze that never left you. Now, Cece, I know you must be confused, but I must prepare for our wedding, our future." The man then turns the bed to the right and places the medical bed you're on in the side of the room. You take a mental note of direction to where Alfred in the room is. Looking down on the floor, you see a few open metal holes in the ground, like metal coffins built into the ground. No. You whisper to yourself as you look up to the man as he unlatches your limbs from the bed. Once he frees all of your limbs, you try to push him away and fight back. His strength easily overpowers you, and he manages to slam you into the floor, pushing you into one of the metal coffins built in the ground. You lay there trying to regain your strength from the force of being slammed on the ground. "I get it. You must need some time to think by yourself while I prepare. Totally understandable. Just a little lover's quarrel is all," the man says in a neutral voice, as if speaking to you like nothing was happening. "You don't mind, though, right?" The man questions you for a moment before smiling and nodding to you. You try to scream and yell at him, but he seems to ignore it. "Great. Thank you for being patient, my doll." The man then locks you in and leaves you in the room. You hear the door in the room shut afterwards. You start freaking out and try to assess where you are. From the cool air blowing behind your head, there is air conditioning in the cramped box, so you won't die from loss of oxygen. Beating your fists on the metal lid that encases you for what feels like hours, your arms grow weary. Tears stream down your cheek as you don't know what else to do. "Alfred!" You cry in joy as you practically leapt out to hug his neck. He returns the hug and holds on to you as if he'd never let go again. After hugging for a few seconds, he breaks it, and the more you assess him, he looks like he went through hell and back even more so than before. You would ask him, but every second is precious given the situation. "We have to go back to that room." Alfred nods towards your words and helps you regain your footing. You both then cautiously exit the room, and then slowly proceed toward the tunnel again, recalling the directions you've both previously taken to get there. Seeing the huge room ahead, you both enter it and turn the corner to see a body chute. Okay, we're gonna make it to the body chute this time? God damn it. So much work. Okay, so this time I'm gonna be like, I know what I fucking saw, bitch. I know what I saw. It was real. Get fucked. I know what I saw, Ophelia. You tell her, adamant on your words. The first stage is acceptance, Cece. I know it was real. You yell at her, unable to contain your emotions as tears rapidly stream down your cheeks. Ophelia, taken aback by your reaction, remains silent for a moment as she patiently waits for you to continue. I don't know if he's alive, but damn it, I will not let this happen again. You yell, frustrated as you pace around the room. I don't want to keep losing everyone I love around me. I will find him. I will find him. You tell yourself the last line in an attempt to calm yourself. I'm sorry to upset you, Cece. I don't ever mean to invalidate your opinion. It is just a professional opinion of mine given my observation. Ophelia says in a calm tone. Afterwards, you slowly look back to her in an effort to listen, trying to calm yourself. You sit back down. When I first met you, you mentioned that you've remembered calling violent acts. Yeah. Ophelia nods to you lightly. Do you have a ride home? Ophelia questions as she puts her notes on you in a locked file cabinet. I believe my friend Calliope called earlier wanting to hang. She said she'd pick me up. Ophelia looks away for a brief moment with a changed expression at hearing your friend's name. Ah, I see. Before you could continue conversation with Ophelia, you hear her phone go off. I must excuse myself. Be safe and have a great night, Cece. You too. Ophelia tells you with a small bow, walking to the phone and answering it. As you walk out of the room, you see Calliope's car outside through the window, but you have grown curious as to why Ophelia ended your conversation early, as it is very unlike her. Was it because I yelled at her earlier? You thought concerned as you step out of her office and walk into the hallway. What should you do? I don't feel like I have anything to apologize for, personally. But maybe we go back in and apologize and see if that changes anything? Deciding to go back in and apologize, you feel bad for how you left it. Also, it took you forever to finally be settled with a psychiatrist. All the others gave you referral after referral to different ones. You're afraid she'll refer you to another psychiatrist, and she's the only one that actually seemed to understand and listen to you. Walking up to her open office doors again, you hear silence. You look around to see no one in the office, but the office lights are still on. She must have stepped out for a moment. You think to yourself as you decide to wait in her office. As you wait, you walk around the room and decide to look at what she had displayed to pass the time. Where should you look? Ooh, we get to snoop. Ooh, we get to click on things. Okay. So there seems to be just a little end table here. And a desk. Ooh, and a cabinet. Ooh, 2 cabinets. Ooh, okay. Let's start with the desk. You look on her desk to see a journal of hers. Cece? You zip around to see Ophelia a few feet away from you, her footsteps awfully quiet. Oh, yes, I just wanted to apologize for earlier. I didn't mean for that to happen. It's just been stressful lately, and... You try to apologize, but Ophelia walks up to you and smiles, bending down slightly and gently placing her fingertip on your mouth to shush you. That's... like you're a professional. Please don't touch me. Okay, never mind, I take it back. Ophelia trails her fingertip down your neck, then to your chest and hip. Maybe I could help release some of that stress for you. This is so unprofessional. The fuck just happened? You fall back, startled at what you just saw, and push her away. What the hell? Cece, are you okay? Ophelia questions, worried for you. What happened? Very professional. You hear Calliope from in the room, making you both turn to look at the entrance of the office. Ophelia stands up straight again and turns to her. You're one to judge, Ophelia says, rolling her eyes. Calliope shakes her head and turns your direction. It's no wonder that all of my payments are under the table and she's not legitimate. Because she's not. I was wondering what was taking you so long. You ready? Yes, sorry about the wait. You respond to Calliope before returning to Ophelia to wave her off. Sorry for earlier. Don't apologize. It's okay. Ophelia smiles softly with a light nod. Nodding to her response, you are unsure of how to respond, but smile back. It is awkward for a moment as she looks right at you, not breaking eye contact or blinking with an unnerving smile. You both stare at each other for a few more seconds. No words exchanged. Well, I should go now, you tell Ophelia in an attempt to break the piercing silence. Ophelia gives an unnerving smile to you for your response. I will await your next visit with bated breath. I better at least get a fucking discount, Ophelia says with bated breath as she looks down at you. You nod to her and take your leave, but before you leave the office, you hear Ophelia turn to speak with you once again. Cece, Ophelia tells you, making you turn around. Yes? My offer still stands. Ophelia chuckles lightly and folds her hands in front of her, her eyes lower to you, and smiles an eerie smile. Given all the recent murder cases you've been investigating in this city, it was very dangerous nowadays, so you believe she was looking out for your well-being. I don't see how her proposal has anything to do with our well-being in this city. Like, I don't. Okay, so we went to the roller rink with Calliope, and she beat up that group of people and got arrested. And we went back to Ophelia's office to get our badge. And instead of the door being locked and the lights are off, Ophelia's in there with who I'm assuming is her husband. I thought you would have been home by now. Why are you working this late? I had that last-minute client. Ugh, of course. Excuse you, don't talk about me like that, especially after you tried to sleep with me, ma'am. The fuck? You hear the man grunt before continuing. Dear, with all this recent shit show happening, I hope you would have quit this job by now. I would very much not prefer to be a stay-at-home mom. I thought we talked about this before, Leon. His name would be Leon. You slowly walk closer to the office door, hoping you wouldn't be heard or intrude. We have, and I thought we came to a conclusion on this a week ago. She lowers her head lightly and averts her eyes from him. I know. It'd be in your best interest, too. There's another man they just found dead today. Cece? Ophelia hears your footsteps, despite how quiet you are, making you jolt up. You walk towards the door, but don't want to seem like you are eavesdropping. Shit. You think to yourself as you thought she wouldn't notice you. Let's talk about this later, She tells him, happy to be out of that conversation. Leon gives you a disgruntled look before averting his attention back to Ophelia, then back to you. What do you want? He asks, pissed about your presence. I came to see if my ID was here. I lost it earlier. You say, trying to contain your emotions around this asshole. Ah, yes, I found it after you left. I tried to call you earlier. Ophelia says as she walks back to her desk and pulls out one of the drawers, your ID. Then she walks to you and hands it over. A sigh of relief escapes your lips. Thank you so much, you tell her with a smile, looking at your ID. You're welcome, dear. What are you doing out this late at night? You look back at the angered man giving you a death glare from afar and continue. Calliope troubles. Oh dear, what has she done this time? Beat up a group of guys. I don't know how I'll get her out of this one, truthfully. Do you need a ride to the station? Ophelia. If it's not too much trouble, you say quieter than usual. Leon huffs before walking toward the front door of the office. I'll be outside. Rude. Well, let's just keep it nice and awkward and just look at each other like... You decide not to anger this man and keep quiet, but you did want to run a check on him since you were never notified of a report of a dead body today. You keep that in mind for later. Shall we go then? Ophelia questions as she gestures towards the door, walking behind her office desk to grab her purse and lock up her office. You follow along afterwards while Ophelia locked up her office to what you presume to be Leon's car. Hopping in the back seat awkwardly, you make sure you have everything on you before Leon drives off. The ride is awkward as hell. Ever since that newscast, they both seem to be in different moods. It was so abrupt. Just ended. Well, let's go ahead and question him. Who was found dead? You question Leon with a brow raised, as it seemed pretty suspicious since you never got notified today on a body. Leon gives you an angered look as you question him, turning around and directing his attention to you. You're a fucking detective, you should already know. Wait, how does he know that I'm a detective already? You ponder to yourself for a moment before responding. How do you know I'm a detective? You shot back, giving him a glare. Leon shoots you an angered look before walking up to you menacingly. It'd be in your best interest to turn away now, detective, he says with a low, threatening tone. Leon. Ophelia steps in front of him and places her hand on his chest as an attempt to calm him, not making eye contact with him. Goddamn, is she shorter than him? Because earlier she was literally described as being like 7 feet tall. And he's like a good foot taller than her, at least in this picture. Is this bitch like 8 feet tall? Before you end up unable to turn back. Or what? You snap back, stepping closer to him, angered by this man's presence. This causes him to laugh lowly at your response. Please. Ophelia pleads quietly in a hushed tone. Don't, Leon. Just... like Alfred. How dare you? You yell towards Leon in anger. Leon! If anything, I should be suspicious of you. You yell to Leon and point at him angrily. It was on the news. A body was just discovered. Ophelia chimes in, trying to clear the tension. She reaches for the TV remote and turns on the news. You all direct your attention to the TV and watch. Another gruesome case leads off our newscast for tonight. Police have found a body inside the cathedral, and now they're wondering if this is another victim of the marionette killer. We will now be getting a statement from the public information officer. The camera then turns to the lady on the screen. From our investigation, we found that this victim is likely another victim of the marionette killer. We will be taking evidence out of the building by the medical examiner and keep the public posted as we gather more information on this case. The chief of police will give more news about this at 3. Thank you. We will get a statement from the police with our other broadcaster in 2 hours. After the broadcast was over and the news pops up, you look to both of them to respond, but what did they see? You. We're going now, Leon states as he grabs the remote from Ophelia to turn off the TV, then places a hand on her back, turning her around and making her walk outside the office. Wait, Cece is riding with us. Ophelia tells Leon as she stops and turns to you, makes her way to her desk to grab her purse, afterwards gesturing you to follow along. You follow along afterwards while Ophelia locked up her office to what you presume to be Leon's car. Helping in the back seat. Okay, so the ride is awkward. Yeah, so I guess that makes sense because we didn't see the newscast the other time, so. You and Ophelia hop out of the car as Leon goes to park in the parking lot. Okay, I thought okay, because I ran through the other ending again, and it still just ended abruptly. You and Ophelia hop out of the car as Leon goes to park in the parking lot. Why? Aren't they just dropping me off at the station? Okay, we're back at the roller rink. Those guys knocked us over, and I guess we'll be non-confrontational. Just let it go. Let's just let it go. They're not worth it, Calliope. Calliope looks at you for a moment before taking a deep breath and giving them a nasty look before turning towards you. Are you okay, Cece? Yeah, I'm okay. Why don't we go get you freshened up? All right, let's go then. Is she gonna fight anyways? Calliope gives you a gentle smile as she proceeds to leave the restroom. Calliope? Oh, yes? She stops and turns to you before leaving the restroom. Can we just head home? You sigh before continuing. Even though it was the smallest inconvenience, your heart couldn't handle it tonight. Too many emotions flow through you at this moment, and it was getting worse by the minute. It's okay. We can head home. She smiles and gives a light nod. You return the smile and feel slightly better from almost wanting to bawl your eyes out a few seconds ago from how overwhelming tonight was. You splash water on your face in an attempt to wake up, to try to snap out of the group ruining your guys' mood. Ready. You tell Calliope, who waits for you near the door. Got it. Your place? Yes, please. You got it. Calliope says in a gentle tone as she holds open the bathroom door for you. What is this jazzy music? After a long car ride to your place, you push open the door and throw your bag on the bed, lazily taking off your shoes. Calliope follows you in after shortly behind, carrying your other belongings. So you have any plans after this? Nope, probably will just head home. I have some chores to do anyways before the week starts. How late is it? Who's starting chores this late? Ah, I see. You respond quietly, as you were going to ask if she could stay longer, but you didn't want to bother her. Well, if you need anything, I'm only a door down. She beams as she places your stuff on the kitchen counter, then heads to the door. You both hear the air conditioning shut off and see the lights go out in the city. Another blackout? Ugh. Calliope says from afar, annoyed, as she continues towards the direction she thought the door was in pitch black darkness. Something felt horribly off. Calliope, wait! Dun dun dun! Okay, I wanted to see if anything happens if we just don't say anything. Like, do we know her? Well, officer, you look back to Calliope in the car, then to him. I do not know this woman. Excuse me? That son of a bitch said what? The officer sighs for a moment as you both hear Calliope cussing you out in the car. You seem to know her, though. You chime in, trying to ignore Calliope's wrath you'll have to deal with later. Yes, we were in a relationship before. He says with a dry chuckle. Good Lord, I fucked up. How do I not know this? You thought to yourself, now in an awkward but even more confused position. I should probably get going. You rush out of there as quick as you can to the rink. You go back inside and recount your footsteps, as well as ask the person at the counter for the lost and found. Okay, so we're going to go look for our ID then. Okay, do we know who Ophelia left with? Nah, no idea who you're talking about. Didn't get a good look. I don't know. I see. Quick question. How did you know I'm with law enforcement? Oh, he already knows. I will act like I saw nothing. Okay, yeah. We just didn't get the business card. As you walk to the station, you stop to get any kind of drink with energy to keep you awake through tonight. You run to the best place nearby, knowing they'll close soon. Turning the corner and seeing the building, you see them closing their doors. Wait, could I get something real quick? You run up to the door asking the man who is closing up. Can't do, I just shut down all the machines. You sigh in defeat as he closed the door in front of you. As much as you wanted to get angry, you couldn't do much as you should have come by 30 or so minutes earlier. Ran quite late, I presume.